myself or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious, so I move with it.
We're going to have to learn and tap back into us healing, our healing properties, our capacity to feed each other, family. We got to get back into that. You understand? We got to get back into that. And we know that it's a threat. Look, that's what the Black Panthers were doing. When the Black Panthers were doing that, they were looked at as a threat. That's what made the Black Panthers a threat, when they were feeding people. When you start feeding your people, independent of the dominant society, that's the first step to nation building. When you start feeding your people. You understand? And I want Black people to understand this. See, we've been programmed to think we can't do anything without white mommy, white daddy, unless a white person is there holding our hand and building everything. We can't get it done. Family, let me tell you something. We've been healing ourselves and taking care of ourselves for millions of years. Family, we are world builders. This is why I go in on history. I want Black folks to understand history. I want us to understand history. Black people, even in Europe, I want you to understand Black people, it was Black people who were building some of the first hospitals in Europe. Do you know that? Out there in Spain, it was the Moors, some of the first hospitals, the modern hospitals as we know it, they were being built in Spain by Black Moors. Not only were they building hospitals, they had different wings in these hospitals for different ailments. You understand? We know how to take care of ourselves. We've been taking care of ourselves for the longest. Black folks, you better know history. Us walking around sickly and all this stuff. No. Black people, we've been healing ourselves for centuries. Not centuries, millions of years. Not only were some of the first hospitals in Europe built by Black people, and we know there were hospitals in all by Aboriginal people in the motherland. But listen, some of the first doctors in America, ladies and gentlemen, were Black people. Some of the first doctors in America, and what would become America, were Black people. I want Black people to understand this, how other groups were so dependent on you. It was the other way around, Black folks. In the formation of this country, other people were very dependent on Black folks. We were the feeders and the healers. Let's walk through history so Black folks can understand this. Some of the first doctors that came into what would become the Americas came into New York. The first doctors, technical doctors. New York was called New Amsterdam. The Dutch owned New York, or the land that would become New York. Let me break it down. Understand Holland, Amsterdam, the Dutch. There were a lot of Moors in Amsterdam, Holland. There were a lot of Moors, Black Moors there. Let's go back. Let's walk it all the way back. As we know, the Moors were bringing medicinal properties in Spain and parts of Europe. All of these words and terms with alcohol, and all of these things, alchemy, all of these, this got to do with medicine. All of these Arabic words, algebra, they were introducing into European society. Black Islamized Moors. The white supremacists in Europe, they first started translating some of those alchemy books really in the 12th century. They just started even reading those books. They only started translating those Arabic books that the Moors brought in about alchemy around 1100 something. This is when they could translate it, let alone they couldn't practice it. So it was the Moors who were doing a lot of the healing there. Alkaline, exactly. Look at these words, alchemy, alkaline. and all of these alchemy symbols. If you look at a lot of medieval stuff in Europe, you'll see a lot of stuff with bats.
All right, family. All right, family. And yeah, Tariq goes in on this one, but I gotta cut it off right there.
Right.
I gotta cut it off right there. But he definitely goes in with the history on how our people were dealing with the medicine, dealing with the food, and the basic needs of people in certain civilizations and all of that. But
Right.
anyway, we had to get the show started with that because we're gonna be talking about food tonight. We're gonna be talking about
Yes.
food deserts. We're gonna be talking about the ability, us developing the ability to feed our people, as he was talking about in the beginning part of that clip right there, and how that is viewed as a threat. You know what I'm saying? It was viewed as a threat when the Panthers were doing it, but it's definitely something that we got to get back to. So, welcome,
Right.
family. Welcome to another
Well,
episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the
hey,
God, Sincere Love, here with my lovely co-host on this side over here. Nice D girl. How you
how
doing
you
tonight, beloved?
doing? I'm good. How's everybody?
Doing good. Peace to everybody in the chat. What's going on? So
Yeah.
us show. Jackson Harlem in the building. Crown 808.
Hey,
How y'all doing tonight? Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you could be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of the Godcast. Appreciate y'all tapping in
yeah.
with us. And so we definitely got a couple of special guests in the building tonight. What's going on? Some chick named Star. I ain't see you there. What up? What up? What up? She said, "Feed our own, damn it."
That's right.
That's the acronym for food right there. Feed our own, damn
Right.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let me go ahead and let y'all know who we got in the building tonight. Make sure y'all share this out, family.
Yes. Share it on your
Okay.
Facebook.
So yeah, as you see on the bottom of the screen, make sure y'all follow on Instagram, Urban Comfort Foods. So Urban Comfort Foods was established by Chef Maxine Hardman and Janelle Singletary. Urban Comfort Foods provides healthy and nutritious meals to local youth, young adults, seniors, and organizations requiring catering services. They have an excellent team that includes an on-call registered dietitian and a chef. The mission is to provide nutritious, well-balanced, healthy, and attractive meals to our community using the freshest and most wholesome ingredients and deliver them in a safe and efficient manner. The vision is to become the premier provider of meals for those with nutritional and economical deficiencies and to keep costs at a minimum for the people that we serve. Great goal,
Right.
great mission, great vision. And
Yeah.
so, without further ado, I would like to present to you our guest for the evening, Miss Janelle Singletary and Maxine Hardman. Peace, peace, peace. How y'all doing tonight?
Hello,
Good.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
everything that you're doing in the community as well. Love it. Love it.
Yes,
Can't wait to learn
ma'am.
more about what's going on.
Yes.
So, um, I always like to go back to the beginning, but it's a little different when you're dealing with two people,
Yeah.
right? So let me go with you first, Maxine. Maxine, I'm sorry.
You can
Can I
call me Max, Chef Max,
Chef Max? Chef
Yeah.
Max. I love it. Chef Max. And Janelle, so you're the dietitian?
No, I'm the co-owner. We just have an on-call dietitian just
Oh, you have
because we don't
okay.
need it all of the time. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. She's
All
the
right.
chef owner. Hmm.
Chef owner, co-owner. All right, so let's start with the chef. Chef, the
Yeah.
beginning of your journey before you guys met. I need you to
Hmm.
take me all the way back. You know what I'm saying? When
Right.
you first became an entrepreneur, when you first decided that you wanted to serve your community, like how did this begin? Did it have anything to do with your upbringing, some type of experience that took place in your life? Take us back.
So all of those things. So let's take it back. So I went to school first. I have a bachelor's in marketing. I went away to college, did the traditional thing, but I always had a love for food. My grandfather used to own a restaurant in West LA called New Orleans West.
Okay.
So I was always in the kitchen with my family. it's just like you said, it's tradition. So like I said, I did the normal route. And then when I moved back to LA, I realized like I really love cooking. And so I ended up going to culinary school. The day that I checked in, my grandfather passed away. It was really crazy. But it was something that we had spoke about, and I knew it was a journey that I was ready for.
Okay.
And so I went through the motions going to school. When I finished culinary school, I ended up staging for a restaurant in Signal Hill called Delia's. It's a fine dining and delicatessen. I staged there, got a great little position there, started really getting into food. And then I thought about going, I need a steady job. I got pregnant with my first daughter, and I just started working for the school board. So LAUSD out here, they have a humongous food service division. They serve over 901 schools. And so I became a school food manager. And so I learned a lot about food waste, obviously, different economics and households and how kids eat and how they don't get meals, and just how much money is put into servicing kids at school, and just trying to that fine line of just liking food and knowing that it's good for you. I was really interested in, finding my role in that. So from that, I went on to be a station chef at USC for about 2 years. Served there, and then went from there to be a school food authority for charter schools. And with that, I developed a different skill, which was learning about CACFP, which we serve a lot of our clients off of that, which is the Child and Adult Food Care Program, and also the NSLP, which is a National School Lunch Program. So with the charter school role, I really went into finding different vendors. And then I got a different position working with as an area ops manager for Revolution Foods, which is a really big vendor out here in Southern California. So went back to school after that, and then got pregnant again, started working for Kaiser, wasn't feeling it. Janelle and I were always friends over Instagram. We have a mutual friend. We met when we were about 18 years old. We went to California Pizza Kitchen. Like one time we kind of like hung out, and Janelle reached out to me because she was working for a food service company that specialized in servicing schools, something with my background. And so we collaborated there, and we got blessed with the opportunity to take our knowledge and how we work together. People kind of really gravitated towards that. And we were just blessed to start this company, and it's been a blessing. I focus more on menu planning, our actual meals that go out. Janelle focuses on the business side, bringing in contracts, and it's just a great, it was very organic, which is why I feel like it's something that is a blessing. We weren't looking for it, but it came into our lap, and we are both from Janelle's from Watts. I'm from Compton, Carson area. We both know a lot of the same people. This is definitely a food desert. They've taken a lot of grocery stores from our areas, and we have to drive 5 to 7 miles outside of where we live to get, food that we really need to fill our body with. So that's why we say, we're out to fight against food insecurities and food deserts, because, it's in our community, and we just, as being mothers ourselves and wives, we know the need of having a nutritious meal. So that all kind of led us together, and that's how we started Urban.
Man, no. That's a very impressive backstory, and just I thought it was just gonna be, I used to cook and bring plates to the barbershop. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What she did not mention is that she went to Le Cordon Bleu, y'all.
Okay.
She has she's a certified chef. Like,
listen. This
so
is a
many
Black
things,
Business
right?
Showcase. You better show out.
Right.
That's right.
But that's why it's always good to have, your right hand with you, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't gotta do all the patting yourself on the back. But no, that's what's up.
Thank you.
That's what's up. And so Nicely girl, you out there on the West Coast in LA and all of that too? How far are y'all?
So I'm near the borderline Long Beach, Compton area.
Oh, okay, awesome. Not too far from me.
So we're neighbors, and Watts is up the block too. So
yeah, not too far. I'm down the freeway. Yeah.
105.
Yeah.
I gotta come check y'all, man. I ain't never been on the West Coast, man.
Oh, really?
I ain't never been on the West Coast.
He doesn't.
I know.
My
So
I
sad.
mom,
So sad. I know.
Maxine, my mother retired from LAUSD, and I also worked in the IT department for 7 years.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
what?
My
That's
Yeah,
sister too, and
amazing.
my grandmother.
my
So
grand.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and Janelle's
downtown
mom
on
as
Grand.
well.
Yep,
So
that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
yeah.
And so Janelle,
Yes.
let's turn to you. Let us get that origin story, that creation story. How did it come
Right.
about?
So I I started out in fashion technology in the tech space. That's where I worked.
Okay.
I went to school in Carson at Dominguez Hills. From there, I
Mhm.
started working for all these different corporate companies. I started getting wind of like this tech space. I became really enthralled in it just because it was the future and I didn't want to get left. So I started working for all these up and coming different apps and websites and all these different brands in like Silicon Beach. So like, Santa Monica, Marina Del Rey, all these like $1 million companies, these ideas that people came up with and then turned it into a business essentially. And so my expertise for them was to develop customer service departments from the ground up. So that's what I did. I found the technologies that talk to each other to create a better customer experience, while at the same time making sure that the team was efficient and all those good things. So I worked closely with the president, CEO, just to make sure goals were aligned with what we were developing as it pertains to customer experience, customer service. I worked for Nordstrom, Brack, Holtlook. I worked for Tracy. I worked for Little Black Bag, bunch of different companies, and just really helping them develop these great departments that offer customers seamless experiences where they can service themselves first. Ergo, the company is eliminating the amount of staff that they have to have. So, and from there, I end up working with a children's technology physical product company called Seedling. And I end up being the head of the specialty sales department as well as the customer care department. So from there, I honed all these skills just because I was siloed and I was on the island by myself, essentially. And I was like one of three Black people. Y'all already know.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I ended up starting my own like little brand while working at this company because I needed an outlet. And it was called Plethora LA. I just made t-shirts for Black women, things that represented me and what I was going through at the time. I made these shirts and I sold them to people. And that was like my creative outlet while I was like in this dark cloud at this company that I did not want to be at.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Something happened where, as you guys know, with tech companies, they don't last. And so this company was dissolved or bought out or whatever happened. And I got wind of it prior to, I had just had a baby 3 months prior. Or I'm sorry, 6 months prior, I just had a baby and this company is going under. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So after all of that and postpartum and all these other things, I ended up going on disability, and it allowed me to have the opportunity to be able to figure out if I really wanted to be an entrepreneur. And I did, but that with the baby at home was very difficult. So I went and worked with family at a food service company here in LA. And from there, I used to work there years ago, but I came back to help get new contracts and things like that as it pertains to feeding preschools and local schools and private schools, things like that. And the business grew so fast that I needed help. It was like, okay, whoo, girl, this is a lot. So I reached out to that friend that we had, and I'm like, hey, do you know anybody that can help me out over here? Because I am like super overwhelmed. And she's like, Max works in school food. I'm like, oh my God, I see Max online all the time. Like, let me reach out to her. So reached out to her. We ended up working there together for a little while longer. And then we just had this like synergy that was just so obvious. It was clear as day that we worked really well together. She was the yin to my yang, and she had the expertise working with both the state of California and the USDA and the CDE food programs, things like that. She had that full background. So, and then I only knew it on the vendor side. I didn't know it on the school side. So that's where we kind of met really well with working with one another. So we both, I think her baby was 1, my baby was 2, I think at the time. And we're like, girl, I don't really want to work for nobody else. You? And she's like, I don't either. So we're like, okay, what can we do to like, you know, figure this out? Because we are wives, we have 5 kids between us. Like, it's a lot, you know, and what can we do? Because all we want to do is take our kids to school, pick them up. We want to be able to be there for homework and dinner. And like, those are the things that matter to us, that we were just like, we need to design these lives that we want, that we like, we paid our dues. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it's time for us to be at home a little more, you know? So we started initially, we started this food company in, I want to say the latter part of 2019. And what we did was I basically went through my Rolodex and like kind of we're talking to different people, and we were able to attain within our first 3 months of business 2 huge contracts. So one of them was serving women and children shelters, and then the other one was schools. And so through that, we had to do a lot of scrappy work to be able to get the funds to be able to start something like that, because basically the state of California reimburses you. You don't get paid up front.
Okay.
And another thing you guys may not know about the state of California and the meals is that you're not getting a lot of money. It's like $3, $3.50 a meal. Okay. Y'all know that a meal costs more than $3 to
For
make,
sure,
right?
for sure.
But yet, and still, with our knowledge of what we were already doing and us being able to create these amazing menus that are healthy, we're able to stay within the confines of that $3 per meal, because we're making mass meals. We're feeding hundreds of people every day, hundreds of children every day. Yeah. So Max and I, we linked up and we got a kitchen and we got stuff, and we were like, all right, let's feed these people. And we ran our cars down. I think we had 2 cars since we started. We're delivering to these. It's insane. So yeah, it was just me and her too at the time, y'all. It was just
a lot.
We were
it was delivering and making the
cooking,
food,
shopping, everything. Yes.
And at that time, how many people were you feeding when it was just y'all 2?
What? Oh, like probably 300?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then our first contract, like she was saying, with the shelter, it was really crazy because we offered them breakfast and breakfast and dinner. So we were making 2 drop-offs a day, 7 days a week.
365.
Yes, we served them through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It was a lot, but it was that first year, and we like really hit the pavement.
Yeah.
I'm shook, y'all. I'm officially shook. Man.
And I've seen the meals. I'm not sure if anybody has tapped into their Instagram while we're on this live, but the meals that you guys are providing definitely look very, very good. I mean, you know, especially when you're talking about feeding certain, you know, communities, it don't usually look like this.
And that's what we want to defy.
It ain't no prison food. Let me just say that.
There you go.
And I think that's like a lot. That speaks a lot to what I was saying with with kids. A lot of the companies that I worked for in the past, it gives an institutionalized feel with it being in a package and it not looking appealing. And, you know, you eat with your eyes first, especially little people. And we don't want them to be afraid of options of different vegetables, grains, and things like that. So we know our audience. We don't just throw things in their face. We kind of like, you know, we adjust to them, but we make sure that they're adjusting to what's healthy as well.
I'm gonna let you set it off, Nicely girl, with the questions.
So I wanted to know, you are a chef, obviously, and you know this is called Urban Gourmet, and I know that you're, you know, not just, you know, looking good, you know, and tasting good, but also being healthy. You know, I think health is, you know, a big part of this. Is there a healthy soul food?
I don't want to say no. Of course, like there's so many different renditions. You know, people do soul food vegan style now. We don't cook with any MSG. We don't use a lot of fat, like I said, especially if we're going outside of our CSCFP meals. We do catering on the side. We do meal plans. We have a vending machine. So we're offering healthy meals, but we are using like some fat. Olive oil is a good fat to use. Coconut oil, avocado oil, soft flour. Those are things that we are very mindful with in the kitchen. With our school foods, we are held to a specific dietary requirement. So we don't go over 200 milligrams of salt. We use a lot of fresh herbs and vegetables. Just recently, with us being a nonprofit, we've been able to attain large pallets that we get in weekly, and we feed so many families. Even with the families that we work with in the facility that we use, we are able to give fresh fruits and vegetables to them. So not everything is per se not healthy. It's just about limitations on everything and just knowing what's a good fat for you to use.
Mm. Now, how long has it been since you guys got started together?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. And what does your staff look like now?
We have a staff of 3 part-timers, and then there's us as well. We don't have to be there as much anymore, thank God. but with all the different things we have going on in the very near future, we're about to hit the ground running, top of the year.
So now let me ask this then, you know what I'm saying? Because you said, you don't have to be there as much, thank God. Right? How aligned with your purpose do you think this business is for you, Janelle, specifically?
That's
Because sometimes, you could be doing a great service for the community or whatever, but it's not necessarily in line with the purpose that God created you for. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so
I really like that question because, growing up, you are like, why am I here? You know what I mean? Like, what am I here for? People, or my mom growing up, she always told me I was going to make a lot of money using my mouth, running my mouth all the time. She always told me that. And she's like, but people are attracted to you, and they're attracted to you for a reason. So you need to make sure you use that for good. Right. So that's one of the superpowers that I have, so to speak, is that I am able to connect with people and communicate our vision and communicate what we are trying to do as a company and the impact we're trying to make on our community. I'm from Watts. I never thought that I would be going back to Watts to feed. Again, I was working on the West Side. I was working in, these bougie these companies, but how can I sit there, you know what I mean, knowing that this is happening east, you know what I mean? And it's I never thought I would work in food. I love food. I love talking about food. I love food, but I never thought that I would work in the food space and that it would be the means of income that I receive while at the same time being the most rewarding thing that I do daily. We are making such an impact, y'all. Like, when it comes to aligning with my purpose, we talk to a lot of people. We work with a lot of different nonprofits, and we work with a lot of low income families. And with that, you have to have the people skills, but you also have to be humble, and humility is something that I'm big on. I always want the people around us to know, like, we're from here too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not over. You're still breathing. We want to be that example for the community.
This ain't charity.
This ain't charity. We doing this out of love. That's why it tastes so good. That's why you got that nice packaging. That's why you have that nice grade of meat. That's why you have, it's love. It's like they should have access to good food too. Why not? And so that's the alignment for sure. It's just evening the playing field as it pertains to access to food equity. Really.
Dope. That's dope.
That's
dope. How about you, Chef Max?
Just to piggyback off of what Janelle was saying, it's an alignment because I'm a very empathetic person, and I think that food brings conversation. It brings love. It's comforting. That's why we're part Urban Comfort Foods. We put urban in front. I think people get the false perception of that, and they think that we're just geared towards cooking black food or, spicy food and things like that. But we are very well rounded and versed, and we offer different meals, different experiences. And that's something that I've always wanted to do, travel the world. And so what I do is I do it through food. One of my favorite classes in culinary school was international, because when you get into a meal and you haven't been to a place before, you can literally taste it and be there. And I want children to have that experience in anything. Food is an art. So if you're into art and you want to draw, you want to paint, bring yourself into that environment. And that's how I always feel when I cook, no matter what it is. So it's in alignment with me wanting to share my experiences. I used to live in Hawaii. I used to live in Texas. So I kind of bring, all the different flavors that I picked up, being in these places, and seeing my grandfather cook. And me and Janelle, we love, like, one thing that we do is we treat ourselves to good meals, so that we're able to, study different food and learn different demographics. And one thing that really helped us out last year, we were doing the meal prep, and we were both learning about keto and cutting things out, not just because of we want to look a certain type of way, but really, like, health is wealth, right? And so that's something that we want to just bring to the world. And I if I can start with my community, one person, I can remember a story. I had a god sister that grew up down the street from me, and she had a Halloween party, and I was in high school, and my godmom asked me to make some spaghetti. And so I made this big pot and it's so silly, but I made this big pot of spaghetti, and this little boy that lived down the street, he came up when they were going through the line to get their food. He stumped on my foot and called me a cafeteria lady. And I thought it was so funny because, like, in my head, I'm like, I'll never be like, boy, what you talking about? And like little things like that, and taking in all of my experiences, like even when college people, yes, it is. And like, the money will come. If you bless people and you feel good about it, then I will always be covered. And so that's just something that Janelle and I are very passionate about. And that's another reason why this works for us.
Yeah, that was a bar. That was a bar right there, family. And I just want to say that y'all are the dopest cafeteria ladies I ever seen.
Thank you.
Yeah, ain't the cafeteria ladies ever.
Was coming up now.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we just got our hair nets and the whole. This is a good day.
Max, what is your specialty, or what would you say is your specialty as a chef?
Gosh, I like to cook so many different things. I want to say I'm great at making sauces. Like, I can throw Janelle, like, I can make a sauce to complement just about anything. Now that's something that was like one of my favorite things in culinary school, learning how to make a bechamel, a veloute, and just how those things can like evolve to a different taste. So I love making sauces. We love to like experiment. Last year we were making keto bread. Like, we just like in the kitchen making stuff. We love different salads. We're working on our vending machine right now. So we're going to be introducing a lot of those meals to the community, and some of the partners that we work with instantly. They'll be able to go get that on their lunch break. And so we're really excited about that. Janelle like has been on me. So we were working on that earlier today. So yeah, we like to do all kinds of things. I don't really have like a specialty like that, but sauces is a love.
I do have something to add to that. Yeah. So Max can't have fish, but she can cook any fish so well. It's crazy.
But she can't taste it.
Yes.
So I'm allergic to fish, but I can cook it.
Yeah, she's allergic.
It doesn't bother you when you cook it?
Well, mostly I always have my gloves on, and it's so weird. Like, I have the same allergy as my grandmother. We can eat shelled fish, like a good amount of crab and shrimp, but anything that's not shelled.
Wow. Okay. I never heard of that one.
Yeah. But she is my taste tester. She will not lie to me.
So, what would you guys say was the most challenging part about getting all of this together, and about how long before things became like kind of smooth sailing?
Go ahead, Nelly.
The hardest part is having such a young business, being Black, and trying to get funding. The
Yep.
hardest part.
Mm.
It is,
The
mind you, like I
obvious.
said, you guys, these funds are reimbursements. So we have to feed hundreds of people. They are ready for us to feed them at 3 o'clock every day. They don't care about a sad story about what happened with the shopper or the money or the account or whatever, you know. But a lot of it was faith that got us through. We didn't take a salary for quite a few months last year. We just couldn't. We were just trying to take care of the basics, you know, at home with the family. But anything extra, we just really didn't have. It was really about feeding these people, you know, especially during the pandemic. And we wanted to offer them hearty, healthy meals. So that means you have to offer quality items. We don't do a lot of canned goods at all. If you come into our kitchen, you'll see probably one little section of cans. We do fresh food daily. We don't do a lot of frozen foods either. And that's just because we know that the nutritional value is in fresh food. And no matter how you slice it, that's how you get the best nutrition out of meals is fresh food, fresh vegetables, fresh meats, things like that. That part is difficult because we're staying true to our mission, offering healthy gourmet meals to the community, you know. Um, and then all of a sudden something happened. I don't know if it was Google search, I don't know, but we started getting connected with a bunch of different nonprofits. And these nonprofits were in need of meal services. They were in need of cooking classes. They were in need of food delivery. I mean, it was just like, whoa, you know what I mean? Catering services. And we've now developed these partnerships with the different nonprofits to where we're able to sustain our company now and grow it. Just
Wow.
because, yeah, just these unique partnerships that we came up with, you know, okay, we'll do this many cooking classes per year at this rate. We'll take care of the food. You guys just take care of the materials, you know, or just coming up with these different unique ways in which it's not going to exhaust them financially. And it's also not going to exhaust us financially, but it will allow us to be able to um, sustain our business while at the same time serving.
Mm.
And are you guys considered a nonprofit?
No, so what Max meant by that is that we're a for-profit company, but we have a nonprofit sector that we just started because what was happening was we were using a lot of our capital to give away food,
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
we couldn't do
That's
that.
what I would think. That sounds like a
Yeah,
nonprofit to me.
yeah, so it just takes a while for the nonprofit, and with the pandemic, it just took a little longer. So we have the Urban Comfort Foods Foundation, which we're going to launch sometime top of the next year, just so we can raise funds to be able to feed the families and give them a little more than, you know, that one meal that is allotted by the state of California. We'd love to give them, you know, a family meal for four or something like that. Like that's what we're looking to do in the very near future to maximize the opportunity to feed whole families instead of just that kid in that house.
Nice.
Got it. So is it
Nice.
also
This
like a meals on, you know how they have the meals on wheels for the seniors? Are you
Yeah.
guys connected with them as well or in some
N-
capacity?
no, we're not, but we have other companies that we're working with, nonprofits, well-known nonprofits that we'll be working with. The thing about Meals on Wheels, okay, so like I was,
put them on blast. Put them on blast. Put them on blast.
so this is I have never had the experience, but from what people are telling us, and this came from us giving out 100 free meals once a quarter, right? The number one group that comes to get those free meals are over 65. I kid
Okay.
you not.
Mm.
And they have access to all of those resources, right? But they're not really enjoying the meals. They're not, it's institutionalized. It's not like
Right.
home, you know, home, it doesn't taste like home. It's not seasoned, you know. Just because you
Hmm.
season something doesn't mean that it's unhealthy, that it has a lot of salt or things like that, you know. So um you know, oh, Max says she got kicked off. I'm not sure there, uh, but yeah. So we don't do Meals on Wheels, but we are looking to. We want to feed the homeless. We want to feed the unhoused. We want to feed low income communities. Like that's what we want to do.
Okay. I'm sure Max will be back with us
Yes.
momentarily. Just tell her to click the link again
Okay,
It looked like she lost service or her device might
got
have
it.
died or something. But the same link will work for her to come back in. In the
Okay.
meantime, family, make sure y'all hit the like button. Um, click
Share.
notification bell. I mean, click the
Share.
subscribe and notification bell, all of that good stuff. Make sure you rocking with us whenever we go live with new content. This is the Black Business Showcase, and we are here with Urban Comfort Foods. Um, Great story, man. Great
You put them in the chat
work
for
that you
the
guys
lady.
are doing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I loved it. Any future plans to maybe start a food truck? That's a big thing here in LA, the food truck thing. Any plans for that later?
No.
No.
We might do like a food truck rental pop-up type thing, but
Mm.
as it pertains to us actually acquiring one, it's just not in total alignment with what we're trying to do. But we are going to be renting a food truck here and there. That's something we have as far as our benchmarks for next year. That's something we want to do periodically because people really enjoy Max's food a
Mhm.
lot, and we want to bring it to them here and there so they can get a taste of it, but while at the same time staying within our budgets.
Right.
Just a food truck, we don't know that business too well to be able to start something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Understood. Now, do you guys have like a GoFundMe, a Patreon? How are you guys, fundraising, so that, our views, ourselves, etc., can make sure that we're helping out and getting the information out to our people so that we can support you guys.
Well, we do have. I don't know if it's still up on our profile for Urban Comfort Foods on our Instagram, but we did have a GoFundMe. But we do take donations. We're going to be doing once a year. We like to feed 100 people. So we'll probably be marketing that, and so people will be able to donate a plate if they would like to. We did that
Mhm.
last year. We had a lot of
Okay.
seniors come out, which obviously there's a need for them to eat. A lot of them don't have cars, and it's just
Yeah.
they love the food. They love red beans and rice, and we gave them greens, I think, Janelle, and red.
Yep,
Yeah, we gave
greens.
them
I
those
mean, we
types
were
of
giving away
meals.
multiple meals to them. Like I
Yeah.
was, I was telling them that, Max, like the way the seniors came in droves, to get those meals. So,
Hmm.
but we are going to have some things, like I said, really, really soon. As far as fundraising, we just want to build logistics around that, just so that it is clear as to what we are going to do with the funds and all that good stuff.
Hmm.
But more to come there for sure. If they just stay tuned, follow us at urbancomfortfoods.com. You will definitely be able to give to the community a plate for a plate, or just to donate and to feed a family of four. That's $25. We make it work.
Oh wow. $25 for a
$25 is
family
gonna
of
feed a
four.
family of four.
Feed it
Yep,
Y'all
we
need to
do
Yeah,
it.
come.
we can
Y'all need to come
we
feed my
can
damn
we
family.
can feed a couple family, right?
So,
We can
so
feed a
speaking of,
couple family.
yeah, to speak to that, so we work with the Black Visions of Wellness through the UMA Clinic here in LA. And Black Visions of Wellness offers alternative mental health services to the community.
Type
And
that in for
so,
me, Jackson. Type that in the chat, Jackson, please. Sorry.
yes. And so what they do is they have Reiki, massages, sound baths, fitness classes, cooking classes. I mean, there are all these amazing resources that they are offering as alternative mental health resources through the Department of Mental Health here in LA, right?
Right.
So with us, our partnership with them is you guys do a virtual cooking class, and then whoever watches, they get a meal for a family of four. And we literally make those, they watch it on Tuesday, they get their meals delivered to their doors on Wednesday. Chef Max, can you talk about a couple of the things that you've made for
Yeah.
them?
So we've learned knife skills. We like to teach them kitchen safety. Just things that you need to know just at home. We've gone through vegan meals. We've done a vegan curry cauliflower. We've made home made pizza dough with fresh pizza. We make hummus. So we've done jambalaya pasta. I mean, it's an array of different meals that we've done. They also get the recipe and they can follow along. And like Janelle said, we also do a live cooking class at the same time. So we have about 8 to 10 students that are in the kitchen with us, and they're, learning how to cook. They're doing everything that I'm doing, and then they're able to take that meal up to their family. So it's really rewarding for them to learn a new skill, and also for them to know that they're an asset in their home and that they can contribute in a different way. I mean, I know that everybody's had that cousin, uncle, or someone who's staying with them that needs a little leg up. And so, if you're in someone's home and you know how to cook, that's something that you can really, offer to help them. I know me and Janelle, we cook all day and then we have to go home and cook. So, we just want to set people up with life skills. And that's something that we would love to do, is open up a storefront for Urban, a cafe where we can actually train people and, give them jobs. It's a full circle, what we want to create with Urban Comfort Foods. We want to be able to create shelter and jobs. And like I said, if people want to take it as a career and use it, it's something that it's always going to be a need for. It's always a new restaurant opening up, and those things can take you a long way. I used to be a manager at 2 Carl's Juniors, so you just want to be able to, show them new things, introduce them to new fruits and vegetables. And so that's what we've been doing. And we get so much good feedback. We signed a contract for, I think, 6 months of classes, and they extended us for an additional 3 months. Just because we were getting great feedback from the community. And like I said, they're learning. So
yeah,
that's awesome too. Because they took home economics, it seems, out of the
yes,
schools, right? So, which is
Worst
something,
thing.
especially the girls, not to say guys can't cook, but we got to get back, to traditions. To me, that's my
mhm,
opinion. Even for the boys, they took out, the auto mechanic and welding and all those things
Yep.
that were kind of
right.
traditionally with the boys. So I'm hoping, hopefully, you guys can maybe get on these school districts' heads and say, hey,
Yes,
we need to bring home economics back,
I
cooking,
totally
sewing,
agree.
and all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. These, we work with a lot of young people. I can say that now. We work with a lot of young people, and they sometimes lack that work ethic, or those life
Mhm.
skills. And so we're very much like we're cool bosses in a sense, like, but we're gonna be on you just because we want the best for you.
Mhm.
But we want
Right.
these young people to attain these skills, acquire these skills that are gonna help them sustain their lives. That piece is they have to be
Right.
able to sustain their lives out here. And we saw with the pandemic, the number one industry that kind of really kept going was food.
Yeah.
Food, because you got to eat.
And so,
No matter
mhm,
what, you got to
and
eat.
so, yeah, we can give them these skill sets to where they can go work anywhere. They may, this might be the job to get them to the career that they want to have, but we are at least going to give them that amazing foundation with, you know, with working with these two Black women who are mamas and who don't
Right.
play, but
Right.
at the same time, they go home every day knowing that, wow, 300 children just ate off of my 5 to 8 hour shift, and
Mhm.
I did a great thing today.
Right.
I know how to check the temperature of food properly. I know how to put food away. I know how to do math as it pertains to portion sizes and the quantities around mass cooking, and those are skills that they can probably take anywhere.
Right. My son has a friend, our neighbor actually, and his goal is to be a chef.
I
And
love it.
That's
sadly, it's
uh,
not in the school, so he has to wait till after high school when he could have been introduced early
To
and then
cultivate it. See?
that's how I
transitioning.
feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he wants to go to culinary school. I'm gonna send him this link so he can maybe, do some of you guys' Zoom classes, or
Yeah.
come in and see you guys because we're all local, so definitely.
Totally.
What will you say? What have you read or listened to recently that has inspired you?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna show y'all.
She's gonna show y'all.
Yo, God, I thought we was having a tornado just now. I think
No.
I think my son just broke my washing machine, but
Uh-uh.
whatever.
Yes, I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah, we know all about it. But I just finished reading a soul, Tabitha. Love Tab.
Oh, okay.
Really great read. Um, it speaks to you in different ways. Of course, she has a connection to food. She has a connection to children. She has a connection to loving people through what she does. And that Janelle actually introduced me to Tabitha because I didn't even know anything about her about maybe 2 years ago when we first started. And I started following her, and just her rawness and realness about her marriage, and just the different things that she's gone through to become who she is today is very inspiring. Learning to value what's different about you, and not take that as an embarrassment, and not to hide it. It's like you're dimming down your gift if you don't share it. And that's something that I want to really focus on this year, being very, like I was telling Janelle, being very intentional about everything that I do, especially as it pertains to the business, because it's like one of those things where it's just like God is today, God is tomorrow for me. That's the answers that I've gotten from Urban, and then reading this book has really solidified why I'm on this mission and why God has been like, because you're you. And that's why I'm giving you this opportunity, and don't be afraid of it.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Great.
I'm currently reading a book called Successful Women Think Differently by Miss Valerie Burton. And this book is like having this chastisement with your auntie. She's like on you. This is what it feels like every time I'm reading it. I'm like, oh my God, you do not know my life, but really, she's really taking you through the proper steps to become elevated, and then to also to know like you're not alone out here while you're trying to have it all. As in, have it all is relative, but being a wife, being a mom, being a business owner, designing the life you want to live, you deserve it too. What makes you so different from the next person who's out here getting it? You know what I mean? It's just really helping me to really hone in on what I want to do. And just kind of what I tell Max all the time: how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So just kind of like compartmentalizing all the different things I want to accomplish, and not becoming too overwhelmed, because I'm very high strung by nature. So I'm just like, this year, I'm just looking to use the resources that are in place for me to help me to be successful. And then there's another book, I cannot think of the author, but it's called Who Not How. And really, that book is about getting people to help you based on their expertise, so that you can be great in what you're doing. Like, I don't have to do it all. So it's just really just me learning to delegate. That's the mission.
Right.
Delegation.
Right. I had a boss that way. She was like, I just inspect what I expect. That was her thing. Inspect what you expect. Delegate and inspect what you expect. Right. Um, what were your, say, biggest failures, and what did you learn from it or them?
Take this one first before you go to that one. Take this one from the chat. How important is reading books to your career and your personal journey?
Very important, because I'm heads down. So if I'm not like feeding my mind and reading or listening to podcasts, one of them I listen to every day is Social Proof podcast. I'm
I love Social
constantly,
Proof.
Social Proof is that's my juice, and so I'm also I have not only do I have, I'm high strung, but I have a lot of how do I say this? I have a strong personality. And so I'm right now listening to Miss April Mason, to tap into your femininity, and just while at the same time getting your point across. You don't have to be this aggressive, crazy lady, So it's just, so all of that is important, because I can be a better boss that way. I can be a better mom. I can be a better wife. All of that just helps create the whole person. And so it is very important that you read while you're in your career, for sure.
I agree. Not only do I try to keep myself inspired and encouraged, she just turned me on to April Mason, amazing. But I read different recipes. I want to stay in the know. I want, like, one thing I would like to expand this year is my vegan cooking. because it's what the people need, it's what the people want. And I have to just be able to keep myself inspired while still being able to stay on my mission with Urban, not necessarily taking someone's style of cooking or flavors, but just, being inspired. Like I get inspired all the time. Even when we go eat something, like we'll go back home or go back to the kitchen, like, oh, let's try to make, so definitely, like Janelle always tells me, you are like the 5 people you spend your most of your time with. That's something that's been super. And I will not say I will cut somebody off, but I'm very conscious of what people bring, what kind of energy people are bringing to me these days, because I didn't realize that I take on other people's problems, and that cannot help me grow. Right. So reading this book has let me be a little bit more comfortable in taking more time to myself without guilt, because I have other people that I need to, like, I made people. So I got to be able to take care of them. And like she said, I can be a better person, better mother, businesswoman, be a little bit more strategic, organized. Like those strategy and organization is really important to us right now. That's something that we're going to be executing this year. It's not easy, when it's 2 people trying to run a business, and then running a home is a business. Me and Janelle are I think God waited to bring a person into my life who understands me, because I'm very much about my family. It's super important to me. I have a very homebody husband. So does Janelle. And they like us to be home. And we like to be home. So being in business with somebody who doesn't pull you to things that are not important to the business and to the family is easier to run with, because, like, you get comfortable with people, you want to go out, you want to, you get back into those things. But one thing I have seen about us is that we know how to separate church and state. And, in the beginning, it was kind of hard for us to understand that, okay, like the money for this and the money, like those things we need to, get better on. And so just being able to recognize like our pain points. And Janelle's really good at randomly putting the pieces back together. Like if I'm a little lackadaisy on something, she'll text me like, hey, like we're good at reminding each other of like where we need to be in that moment. So, just, we're going to keep doing that this year.
Nice. Nice. And I can tell you're getting more and more comfortable here, because you're starting to drop a lot of dope slang. I'm a slang person. I pick up on the sayings and the little, you know what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if I bite your lyrics.
Oh no. Like me and Janelle definitely, like I said, God waited. Like I haven't had like a good friend, because we're so busy. We're so busy trying to create the life that we would love to give to our family. And so with doing all that for 8 years and just being on that road, and then meeting somebody who kind of feeds like, okay, I need that woman ear. I need that little, like, talk to my friend. Like it feeds everything that it needs to feed right now. So it's just, it's a blessing. It really is. And it's scary, because you don't want things to be pulled from under you, So that's why, like, working hard at it every single day, being disciplined. I feel like discipline is always half of the battle with anything. If you're doing it every day, then you're going to be successful.
Now, what ages are the children, and are any of them incorporated in what you guys do? Do you bring them around at all?
I have 2 boys. One's 4. That's Langston. And then I have Kason. He's 10. And they do, I mean, yeah, they come around here and there. But the way your son just told up your washing machine, we have access in our kitchen, and we can't do it.
Listen, that's a whole 18-year-old up there tearing up on that.
But you got assets that they can't know, so yeah.
And I have a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and an 11-year-old. It's a lot. But yes, my daughters, Janelle, like I will pull them in there. They just went to work with me like 2 weeks ago before the kitchen shut down for the holidays. I will put them to work. I think it's important to show your kids what you're out there doing, so they know that you're doing something that's valuable. to them, their livelihood, especially with having daughters. I appreciate it more to be able to have that time with them and show them how to get down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think one thing about women, we're relentless, right? And resilient, and we can take up a lot of space, and we can need a lot of space.
Right.
So I just want my daughters to see me work hard. And I know Janelle's sons see her work hard. Our husbands really value us, and they give us the freedom that we need to go hard. Which is, it makes it easier. It's not always the easiest, but it makes it easier knowing that that's the foundation.
Oh yeah.
Right. The support.
That support
So
everything.
I love
The
bringing
home
kids
support.
to me. Janelle and our plan is to, not throw them into the business, but make sure that if they need something in the future, that it's available for them to come in and get it in.
No doubt.
Right.
I also wanted to say earlier about the fundraising thing, because I did look on the link. You guys were running a campaign, but it ended back in March. And so I've been working on trying to get somebody who actually specializes in crowdfunding and stuff like that to get on the show. And so if I make this connection, y'all definitely, look out for that, and I will try to put them together with y'all to make that happen, because that's going to be an important factor in what you guys got going on and taking it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Right. A lot of
And
times,
also,
especially with businesses, is the money part. The funding is what sometimes keeps us from getting to the next level.
Yep.
the other thing I was going to say is you brought up April Mason, and I had just rediscovered April. Like, you know how stuff pop up on your Facebook from 3 years ago or whatever. I had posted something with her like 3 years ago, and I was like, yo, what happened to this sister? And I went and found her on Instagram, and I actually sent her a message too. So we might have her on the show as well.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'm buying her book tomorrow. It comes out tomorrow. I'm buying it. Yep.
I really like her.
Yeah.
She's, it's interesting because so many young Black women are not taught those things that she's offering, and you got to kind of still, use your brain and weed out whatever, but the overall resource that she is incredible to me. And it's something that, because Black women, we're just hard by nature. We just are,
Not by nature. I wouldn't say by nature, by circumstance.
By circumstance, you're right. By circumstance, we're hard, and the circumstances start very young, and so you become. And so for a woman to put herself out there and to be able to pour over this information and knowledge through her experiences, I think could be really, really awesome. It's really awesome, and I value it so much. I really do.
Hold on. What is this YouTube channel?
Black
Visions of Wellness. Is that you guys? Tai Chi, cooking, meditation, yoga. Do tell.
Keisha putting y'all on blast, by the way. That's Keisha doing that.
I see. I'm like, hey, Keisha.
Can we hear more about this? Let me.
So that's what we were kind of talking about earlier. Yeah. They are Black Visions of Wellness. They get their funding through the Department of Mental Health.
Oh, that's them. Okay,
that's them.
Okay.
So she represents them. So that's how we got connected with them, is through my friendship with Keisha. And they created a very unique contract and opportunity for us. And we've been going strong for almost 2 years now, or about a year. Yeah. I think we're in our second year now. Yeah.
Okay.
We're in our second year.
Okay. I was thinking that was y'all two's YouTube channel.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay, well that's dope. That's dope too, though. That's dope. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead, Nicey.
As I was saying, what is your biggest failure, or what was your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
Sometimes we overplan. We put a lot on our plate, but we never fail. We don't fail. We don't fail. We may fail in the execution, right?
Fail forward.
Right. We don't
Fail
fail.
forward.
So one thing, like, I got to learn how to say that's too much right now.
Mhm.
But it's so hard for us to do it because we want to do everything all the time. You know, we think, like, I was just facilitating a job we did on the 19th, and I was out for medical reasons, and Janelle's like, "How are you gonna do this?" And but we did it, and it was a blast, and we got, more recognition and some more contacts, and so I don't feel like God is putting us in a position to fail, but just to execute better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree. We are extremely ambitious and we think we can do anything and everything. One opportunity that we had that I don't want to say was, it's just unfortunate. We were serving a school in Moreno Valley.
Wow, that's far.
So you might not know where that is, Sincere, but it's far. It's like
Okay.
over an hour and a half away.
Mhm.
There were at-risk kids from low-income communities, and we end up connecting with the school. And um, logistically, it just didn't make sense. It just did not work out. And with the schools closing, it just sucked. But the intention was there, and and everything. But we're now learning, like, okay, we're going to take baby steps as it pertains to the different opportunities that we're going to take. We're going to do a full, like, scope around if this is in alignment with what we want to do and where we want to go. Do we have the bandwidth? Do we have the hands to be able to execute something like this? Like, we did a wedding, you guys, for 250
Ooh.
people a few months ago, where we made crepes on site right there live.
Mm.
So when I tell y'all we think we can do anything, we can do it
We
all.
have me making crepes in the
It's for
cold.
250 people at a wedding right there live, whipping them up.
But I love the confidence and the abundance mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Thank
And
you.
so I'm interested to know. This is kind of like a psychological or like a spiritual question. Both you ladies were already well accomplished on your own before you guys came together with this endeavor. Would you say there were any emotional traumas and things that you guys had to get over on a personal level to get where you're at now, to get to this confidence level? You know what I'm saying? Were there traumas that had to be dealt with in order to move forward?
Yes.
Yes, lots.
Yeah.
um, um, so
Let me
I
just say,
truly,
let me just say, I asked that because a lot of times I think that's overlooked in business. People don't make the connection between, why they're not having the success that they may be thinking they're supposed to have. They have a good idea, they have a good product, they have a good service, whatever it is. But there's things that they're dealing with internally that haven't been addressed that's blocking them from being able to, you know what I mean? So that's why I want you guys to talk about that.
this is really a great question. So Max knows this, but I had, kind of a strained relationship with my mom, and I always kind of had this chip, so to speak. And literally, I had this courageous conversation with her where I was able to just kind of express a lot of things about how I was, raised in church and how that affected me, how, certain things that, we did as a family affected me, just like different things. I was able to talk to my mom just like candidly, and just, she was so open and just listening to me, to the point where I was just like, I felt so full and happy and at peace after that conversation. I'm like driving home, like, yes, like, and it felt so good. And I swear to you, after that conversation, things just started pouring in for us. It just
Wow.
started pouring in because I don't have this weight anymore. I was able to express to my
Mhm.
mom, like, hey, I always felt like the black sheep, especially in church. I had, these different things. I'm being compared to people. I don't know the Bible by heart like this person. I did, all of these different things were
Right.
traumatic for me. And I didn't wear a slip at church. It's all these different things that I
What you gotta
experienced
say?
made me
Sound like a
question my
old school mama.
old school, and
Mhm.
and made me
Mhm.
question me and who I am and why I'm the way I am. Why am I so different from X, or those different things really helped me. Having that conversation with her just released so much, and made me realize, like, I am the way that I am because God made me this way, and I'm okay the way that I am. And I'm a life learner. I call myself a life learner. I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers, but I'm always trying to feed my mind to be better. And I just feel like as long as I'm out here being a good person and I have my own relationship with God, I'm straight. I don't have to be in the church
Do
every
it your
Sunday, every
way.
week. That's just where I am right now as it pertains to my struggle with my religion, so to speak.
Right.
Nice.
I think that happens
Nice.
in a lot of our households. If you don't do it this way, then you're not connected, right, to divine. So it takes a lot to, say, you know what, I'm going to do it my way, and God still loves me, and I still love God. I still have faith. I
Yep.
still believe. I'm just doing
Yep.
it the way it works for me. Your
Yep.
way works for you. Kudos to you. Let me do it my way, and just
Yep.
know that I'm still connected though to divine.
He all up in this everywhere.
All
So
up in this,
exactly.
all in
But
the
it's
sauce.
not for you to see or understand. This is my thing with him, but just know we all right.
We are right. Right.
Yes,
That was a
indeed.
good question too, because I was going to ask who were three people that were most influential to you guys. And I already know for Maxine, she said her grandfather, and that's why I kind of pivoted to that question, honed in on that question. You mentioned your grandfather. Who were some other influential people in your life that helped, get you to this point?
Um, so, excuse me. Um, this is a hard question for me because I am very much a pusher. So my mom and my dad, they were great examples of working hard, but not necessarily making your own way.
Mhm.
Necessarily, my parents were both coddled. And I knew that I didn't want to continue on in this being taken care of model that I saw.
Mhm.
And so even though I did look for my grandfather as far as cooking, I really created another woman, like a person that I saw when I closed my eyes that I wanted to be. I can literally tell you I drive and I like when I'm walking, talking in the house, I like see this person. I visualize the things that I wanted to see in a woman, right? So
Mhm.
that's who I look up to because unfortunately my upbringing, the women in my family are not very independent. So in order for me to break that cycle, I had to form a fake person, right? To like
Mhm.
psych myself out. Um, and then Janelle helps me a lot with that because she is able to be alone and okay in parts of her in certain seasons, right? So I took that and I kind of was able to feel okay with not having the extra support because I get it from so many other people. So I know that's not like the traditional answer,
No,
but
That's
I
the answer.
okay.
literally
Your
I'm
answer.
creating this person I want to be. Like I'm literally
Yes.
visualizing this woman in 10 years that I'm going to be because like 10 years ago I saw her today, but not really, if that makes sense. So I'm just like
Yeah.
continuing to build this person that I look up to.
Yeah, I think it was Einstein or one of them that said imagination is better than knowledge.
Right.
And so that visualization process, that's powerful. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And then bringing that into fruition,
Yes.
salute.
Thank
That's
you.
all I
Right.
can say. Salute.
Right. It's working. It's
Thank
Yeah.
working.
you.
And I have a feeling you wanted to touch on the trauma question too.
Yeah, I mean, like I experienced a lot of trauma and I guess I didn't realize how much it affects me as an adult and then like bringing it into the business. So sometimes Janelle has to be like, Max, don't bring that energy here. You can't like take all that on. And I'm a big, like, I'm very close to my aunt. She helps Janelle and I tremendously with the business. Like, this is my aunts, plural. They help us a lot. And they are like my sisters, right? Because, you know, like me and my auntie just have that relationship.
Shout out
And
to the aunties.
Shout out to the
shout
aunties.
out to the aunties. And yes, I have a lot of trauma from my parents and just just a lot. But I'm trying not to project that on my daughters, my kids, my kids, period. Because I didn't realize how much it was going to affect me as an adult. Because it does. And then you feel kind of trapped because you're grown and then you can't really have a temper tantrum, right? Because you got these people looking at you. So I'm trying to use my trauma for good, you know, like use it as an opportunity to be like, oh, girl, you know, this is, you never feeling like this. So, you know, you just got to relax, pull back and try a different way. You know, it's really a daily thing. You got to keep on reminding yourself that you don't want to bring other people back to that, you know, that space. So it's
and also
constant.
breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you call it? Generational
Breaking the
curses.
Yeah.
curses, yeah,
Yeah.
breaking that cycle. Like you're making a conscious effort not to, bring that onto your children, your daughters, as you said, or your son, right?
Right.
So breaking that curse, once if you don't transfer that to your children, you already won.
Indeed.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Amen. Amen.
Do you guys do any journaling or any form of documenting the process?
I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Not in the past because, like I said, it was a grind. It was quite the grind. It was like, even though we've been in business for 2 years, with this pandemic, it's more like 10. It's just it was
I just thought
intense.
about that.
Yes,
Y'all been
yes,
doing this all through the pandemic. Wow.
exactly.
Yes.
And so we highs and lows, but I literally just created a business journal. And I literally just wrote down some goals for the company this year because the power is in seeing it before you every day, right?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so then you bring it into fruition, manifest it, all those good things. So I love that you asked that question because that's just affirmation for what I'm doing and what I'm doing the right thing because this is the season in which we need to put it in black and white. You know what I mean? And it
Right.
needs to be in our faces so that we're working towards attaining it every day and doing things towards it every day and measuring our successes, every single day. So, yeah, this is something we're going to do moving forward for sure.
Great. Very important.
Yeah. And I mean, like I journal in my notes a lot, like in the tub and, just, my day, things to make it better. I do it a lot about my family life. Excuse me, only because, can't really talk to an 11-year-old like a 30-year-old and can't talk to a 35-year-old either sometimes. So, when I want to have a conversation with somebody and I can't really have it, I do that a lot with my notes. Just because it's just a way to get it out. But I love that Janelle's starting the goals with the business. I think that's awesome. And we talk so much, like it's weird. Like we will pull up and it's like to the kitchen on the phone, we leave on the phone. So we always are trying to like be in alignment and make sure we're like talking about our goals and manifesting those things. But I like that she's bringing it to paper because just looking at it, sleeping on it, breathing it, it makes it real. You know what I mean? And if anything that I've learned in the 2 years of this business, like when you see those stories and people are saying like it can be, like it really can be you. It really can be. It may not seem like, to people it seems so grandiose, but to you it's just the beginning, So I love waking up to the element of surprise, knowing that the surprise is gonna be good because I'm working to make sure that I, keep that going. So journaling, yes, important. Writing those goals down, yes.
Yes, indeed. And I got you guys website pulled up here. So family, make sure y'all visit them at www.urbancomfortfoods.com. And let me see what we got here. Just a little bio, some of the
Yes.
some of the
We
photos and
celebrated
stuff.
that first picture is us celebrating our 2-year anniversary. We did these what 7-8 course meal. We took
Mhm.
our guests around the world with these small plates, and it was super awesome.
Nice,
Oh wow.
nice. And you guys could sign up to the email list also. Um, and I'm guessing the donation stuff will be on here as well, right?
Yes,
Okay,
coming up, coming soon.
okay, coming soon. So y'all look out for that. All right. So boom.
What advice would you guys give, black entrepreneurs, whether that's getting in the food business or any
Hold
type
on,
of,
guys.
business? What advice will you give, black man or woman that's ready to, step their foot into the entrepreneurial realm?
Work on your credit. That's my number one
Okay.
because honestly, that's the premise of most things, and it opens the doors for other things to where a lot of times your color, so to speak, won't matter as much as your number.
Mm,
Having that good credit is everything. To be completely honest with you, the pandemic was cool with, I guess, the PPPs and everything, but when it comes to actually acquiring capital to be able to sustain and grow your business, you have to have good credit, or they are going to shark you left and right. And that's something that happens with us all the time. We get sharked, and so that's the number one advice that I would definitely give. Also, stay prayed up, prayed up. Pray every day, pray over your business, pray over your tools, pray over your car to get to work. Like, just stay in tune with God and making sure that He is the forefront of your business and your mission with your business, and keeping Him as the head of that. And then pretty much everything else will fall in place, because we're doing it really to create a livelihood, right? The money will come, but keep God first, and He will pour into you like more than you ever thought.
Right.
nice, nice. Great advice.
Same thing. I think balance is something that's super important going into being an entrepreneur. A lot of people, I've even seen memes where people say, "Oh yeah, I quit my day job and now I'm an entrepreneur and I work 24/8." So it's really you're not going to work less. You're actually going to
Mm.
work double,
Hmm.
because who else is signing your check? And
Mm-hmm.
who else is going to do the footwork? And so I think having the mindset of you're going to be tired, it's going to be challenging, it's going to be all of these things, but it's also going to be rewarding when you're able to see how hard your discipline has worked off and your ideas. So for anybody going into it, definitely think about the people around you, how it can affect them. Me and Janelle definitely, we got kids and they want to see us. Our husbands want to see us.
Mhm.
And sometimes that, we can't always be there because the business pulls us, but we are very good at creating time to give to our families. And this year we were really blessed, not having to work the holiday. Since we've been in business, we've worked every holiday, literally. And so being able to know that we're going to start 2022 strong, new business, new things, same business, same people, new smiles, new day. Um, that's what's, you got to keep all those things in mind and create that balance so that you don't end up topsy turvy.
Okay.
Okay. And so you guys do live cooking on Tuesday, 11 a.m.
Two.
Yep.
Where can people check that out?
Through the Black Visions of Wellness YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where
Okay.
you would see us every Tuesday, 11 a.m. It's fun because
Yeah.
Max is crazy. She's
Which
funny. No,
Check it out.
no, it's really fun. It's cool. We love it. It's like the highlight. She said it to me. She's like, it's the highlight of my week. I love my cooking classes. It really is. It's like,
And
Engaging
I
with everyone.
cool because it's like I always like when I was in culinary school, and even Janelle, we watching all the cooking shows. Like we love cooking shows. Like I love like Top Chef and all of the competition, but just watching like the finished product. And so I never thought that I would be on a cooking show or of any type, but to just like see how God can create an avenue for something that you didn't even know, like, and then I
Mhm.
get to do it, my own way.
Nice.
And it's like, it's
yes.
super cool. It's super cool.
I like that.
So was culinary school anything like Hell's Kitchen?
No, like we're really trying to teach, just basic, not basic meals. Like I give them things that I eat at home. But just we're really trying to cultivate people and making sure that they understand that you don't have to get the little money that you get from work and run out and spend it on food. I mean, people do that so much. People spend so much money on DoorDash and Uber
Mhm.
Eats, and you can literally go buy that for a fraction of the price and have multiple. So we want people to think about what they're putting into their body, how they can help other people, and how this can take them further.
I'm tuning in for the drip because when I'll be writing down, trying to keep track of where all my money is going. The majority of my money goes to
Yeah.
food.
Oh,
That's
Yep.
Yeah.
my biggest expense.
Yep.
yeah.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? More than
Yep.
rent, anything else.
Yeah, we've been asked plenty of
Mhm.
times, like people are like, "Are y'all bringing meal prep back?" Because we were doing it for families and like all of that, and
Yes.
it was a lot. But we're now knowing like this is a need. Like people are really looking for us to like prepare meals for their families so that they don't have to like worry about it and they can get their time back. Essentially,
Wow.
like that's something that we're kind of toying with this year is kind of figuring out how do we incorporate meal prep back into what we're already doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And
also,
I want
Nectarine, so say I'm having a date night, right? And I want a
Okay.
personal chef to come in and cook. Like, do you offer that? Is that something that obviously you're not busy with,
I think I seen it on the
urban
site.
comfort
Yeah,
food?
we do offer that.
Yeah.
We actually just did a really amazing farm to table experience for the Compton Girls Club earlier this month. We went in, we actually used a lot of some of the things that they have in the garden there. But yes, we're able to come in, we'll do the table and the whole nine, the experience. We also offer cooking classes. I don't think the facility is open right now because of COVID purposes, but once it's reopened, we'll be able to still have cooking classes in Long Beach. But yes, we're definitely open to that. Last year for Valentine's Day, we did meals to the door because it was COVID and a lot of people weren't able to go out and have that fine dining experience. So we did filet mignon, lobster tails, garlic mashed
Prawns.
potatoes. We did
Yeah.
roasted chicken. Was
A
a lot
stuffed
of
salmon. Yeah, she
yeah.
hooked it up. Yeah.
Damn,
So
y'all making
most
me hungry.
definitely tune into our Instagram. Janelle should be posting a lot of our holiday things soon. So yeah, if we're available, most definitely.
I
All
wanted to
right.
ask you
Y'all hear
guys
that?
earlier about suppliers. Was it hard to connect with suppliers? And are there any black suppliers?
There's some black
Um,
farms in Compton.
well, there's a
Yes.
lot of farms.
Mhm.
Janelle
Yeah.
made a connection with Moonwater Farm. That's where we had the event. Another farm is Alma. We haven't been able to necessarily um, collaborate with them as far as getting our produce that we need for production. Um, During the pandemic, it was extremely hard for us to be able to get enough product to service all the people that we feed. We went to like Jetros all over. So we try to use locally farm rate, local farms, but just during the pandemic it was really hard. But now with things calming down and us making the connections with other nonprofits, we've been able to get our own produce weekly. So whatever we don't use, we get back to the community, but a lot of that our meals are based on that.
Yeah. So we suppliers, it's there aren't many of them that supply restaurants. I'm sure that the majority of the restaurants or people in food industry here in LA are going to Restaurant Depot or chefs or wherever, all these different places. But it would be nice to support some Black suppliers. I would love that.
Yeah.
Packaging, whatever. I don't care if it's foil pans. I would love to support something like that. It's just, again, it's that thing where, you know, we got to open those doors and create those opportunities, because I'm happy to, you know, pour into that for sure. It's just not right now. I guess we don't know of any. I'm sure there's some that exist, but we just don't know of any at all.
Yeah, that's why we have the Sincere Love the Godcast Black Business Showcase, so that hopefully, you know, some way we can connect, you know, people together,
sure.
and that can happen.
For sure. So anybody, you know, checking this out, might be watching this on a replay or whatever. If you do know anybody that's in the food industry on the supply side of the game, please connect them with us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Also, you know, Keisha, shout out to Lakeisha in the chat. Thank you for all the information you've been dropping throughout the broadcast. And if you could connect us with the wellness place, we would love to talk with them as well. So let us know, family. Any business owners out there that's interested in coming on the Black Business Showcase, just reach out to either me or my co-host, and we'll see about getting you guys on the schedule. Meantime, hit the like button, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're getting ready to wind this thing down now. And great conversation, great stories. Love what you guys are doing. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Very. I can imagine how rewarding it is for you too. You know what I'm saying? And especially to have so much success this fast during the pandemic. I can imagine how far along you guys would be if it wasn't for all of these restrictions and all this stuff taking place.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to both of you guys for your you know, your drive and your ambition and all of that good stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I have a quick question also before we leave. I have a cousin that's also in the nonprofit around here in the Los Angeles area. He just texted me some information. He said he wasn't able to jump on the chat, but have you guys heard of redf.org, Robert Economic Development Fund?
No.
It's a place to get resources. So I'm going to send that to you. Their website over, connect you guys with that, and could possibly help with you guys. So I'll DM it to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm not able to put it in the chat, unfortunately, for him. So, I can send it to Jackson maybe, and then we can add it into the chat as well. But I'll definitely DM it to you.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely look into that for sure.
Cool. So, Nice. You wanna shoot your shot?
I do. Let me shoot my shot. So I always like to end the night. You know, we're winding down with my final question of the evening. What does freedom mean to you?
Okay.
She's like,
wow. That's a good one. I guess freedom for me it's more internal, right? Because you can't look to the world to be your oppressor and your savior. Like we always like we can't do that. And if you're looking for it outside of yourself, then I don't think it's attainable. I think it's something that your goals, which like what makes you feel like you're not bound to anything, you know? So a lot of people find that through entrepreneurship, but it's not necessarily that for me. I could be doing anything that I love as long as I'm able to provide and I'm feeling great. I should be feeling like, you know, I'm not a servant to this. So it's internal for me. I'm still working on it. I'm free in what I can do every day with the business, but I'm not all the way free for what I want inside. So once I accomplish everything that I feel that fills me, it's probably going to be something else that I need. So I think it's constant, you know, it's a constant grind. And if you live in that mindset where you feel like that, then you'll get those results of feeling like you're not bound to anything.
Nice.
So Freedom to me is being able to wake up whenever I want, do whatever I want with my family. I want to take my kids around the world. I want to have the love for my husband to work with the business like full time. That would be super awesome. I would love, like that way it's just when I'm off, he's off. When we out, we out. It's like those,
Right.
that's what it's quality of life for us. That's what that freedom is.
Mhm.
Um, I want to show my children that there is a huge world out here outside of LA, Inglewood, whatever. There's a lot of opportunity. I just want to show them the world because I'm going to be honest, like I don't know what's going to happen 10, 12 years from now as it pertains to education, college, and all these other things. You know what I mean? With the kids, I just want to at least have the financial stability to be able to own property and different things for them to be able to lay their head,
Mhm.
something that no one can take from them, essentially. That's freedom to me. Because I always say I have a frat boy and I got a nerd. I don't know what I'm going to get out of these two boys. So the frat boy is 4. Okay. So
Langston is the frat boy.
Langston is the frat boy.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I want them to know like I'm actually good because 20 years ago, my mama worked so hard
I
to
heard that.
where, I don't need X. I don't need for anything, That's freedom to me where, my kids can start their own businesses. They can own an apartment building 4 units and rent out the rest, or own a home and rent out the rest of the
Right.
room, whatever. That's freedom to me, is to be able to provide them those privileges for sure.
Indeed, indeed.
Mhm.
Great answers, both of y'all. And so this is the part where y'all get put on the spot.
Uh-oh.
And I
Look
started with
at
you.
it.
I started with you earlier, Chef
Right.
Max. So we gonna go with Janelle on this one.
Oh,
And so here you go. Here you are on the Summer Jam screen, and the entire Black community can hear what it is that you have to say. What parting words do you want to leave us with all tonight?
always believe in yourself. Remember, people are just people. Don't get so hung up on um, comparing yourself to other people because you have your own lane that's been ordained for you. So walk in your truth, walk in your light, and stay steadfast and keep your eye on the prize. That's really what I would say, and it'll take you a long way in life for sure.
Nice, nice. So you was ready. You
Nice.
was ready for that.
He
You was ready for
was.
that. All right, Chef.
Next.
So same thing. Well, not same thing, but love. Lead with love. I feel like I get my best results out of people when I lead with love. Whether it's in business or personal, um, giving people space to be who they are, and just respecting each other. The world needs a little bit more respect for each other, altruism, and if you lead with love, then you're gonna be blessed. Like and you take care of your business. If you have children out here, if you're a husband or a wife, you need to live up to your role because God will bless you if you're doing your job. I'm a firm believer in that. If you are doing what He asks you to do in your role, then He will take care of you. There will be no meals missed. There will be no shelter gone, and I truly
Mhm.
believe that.
Nice.
Great, great, great,
Mhm.
great, great. Great job, ladies. Great job.
Great
Great
job.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know I'm gonna see y'all soon. I'm putting this out there. I know I'm gonna see y'all on that Social Proof podcast
Yeah.
coming soon because they need to hear from y'all. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. We getting our receipts together so we
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah.
We are receiving that.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Document the process. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
always tell people that that's very important because you're gonna get to a point where you're gonna have a real story to tell and a lot of people not going to believe certain things. So you want to have documentation like, yo, this is what it took to get here, even for your own children sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because the children just think, hey, we just got it like that. This is how we do. But, when you got that documentation, so listen, man, everything ain't been, sweet this whole time. There's a lot of obstacles and stuff that we had to overcome along the way. And this is what it takes. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's always important. I like to tell all my business owners that right there, especially people who are just getting started, document everything. You know what I'm saying? And utilize social media. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis is great content for social media. Just sometimes we don't think of it that way. When it comes to creating content, we start to overthink things, and we think we got to have a certain camera, and we got to have lights and action and all of this stuff, and we need an editor and blah blah blah. Man, just pull that phone out and take pictures of what you're doing. Talk about how you're feeling that day. You know what I'm saying? Just bring people into the process. You know what I'm saying? And it's only going to just grow you guys even more.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that about does it, man. Another great episode of the Black Business Showcase on Sincere Love to Godcast. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Everybody that's watching this on the replay. Again, make sure you are clicking that thumbs up button. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell so you can receive notifications whenever we go live with new content. Because y'all know we here each and every Wednesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And on Sundays, we have our, man, we ain't been on Sunday in a minute. How many Sundays we missed?
We have not, but that's our current event show where we talk about everything pertaining to the Black community, news, stuff like that. So yeah, that's our Sunday show.
Yes, indeed. So stay tuned for us on that. Make sure you're following me at Sincere Love to God on all social media platforms. Nicety Girl, #1 on Instagram, and without the #1 on all other platforms. Make sure you guys are following us so you can stay up to date with whatever we got going on. And you guys have your own personal socials that y'all want to shout out, or just the business? How y'all want to do it?
I'm Maxine Hardman. My social is UCF Chef CEO. I will put it down there in the chat.
Okay. Let people know where they can find you too. Boss Mama making moves. I see you.
Yes, that's yes, that's my Instagram. Not much going on there, but y'all can follow me if you want to. But it's urban. It's where we're gonna get live, and we are going to do a lot more posting because people really don't know what we do every day. And you're right. We do need to bring about light to our wins, our successes, our failures, all those things.
Yes, indeed.
No failures.
Yes, you're right.
No failures.
Hold on, what we got here?
Fumbles. Okay. We have some fumbles along the way, but no failures.
All those words. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. We got that on the bottom of the screen, y'all. At Urban Comfort Foods on Instagram. And the website is there as well, www.urbancomfortfoods.com. And so again, that does it for today's episode, family. And so I always got to remind you guys, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Appreciate y'all watching tonight.
Thank you guys so much.
Right. And I first want to thank Chef Max, as well as Janelle for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. I know you guys were nervous, but you did great. And you did so good. And I know the people are going to respond really good to you guys. Thank you guys for letting us all in your Black business tonight. Make sure, everyone, that you tune in to us on Sunday again for the Sincere Love the Godcast special events or current event show.
Current event.
On this Sunday. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning in and have a good night.
Peace.
Do for self, for suffer the consequences. The wisdom